And I don't want to make this come off to say that this is we're bashing on women or anything like that. It's not a matter of that. It's just a reality that we're talking from a male's perspective and what provides peace. I've been through it. Dev, you've been through it. I mean, I got 2 kids. I got one that was great, fantastic, best one you can think of, and one that was yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on, Derek. I gotta play devil's advocate here. Let me play Simp's advocate. No. But she's the one, man. I didn't, I just fell in love with her.
Somebody else's one.
Well, but she told me she's gonna leave him.
Did she?
And she said she's gonna leave him. They don't sleep together anymore, and he's always checked out of the marriage anyway. So she just does her thing.
Okay, so why she didn't get a divorce? So when I'm with somebody else and not you, and I'm dating another person or multiple people, why you have something to say when you are literally still married? You the worst of the worst relationship. You are literally legally attached to someone else. If he died or you died, your stuff go to him.
Which is really why she's staying married. She just don't say that.
Oh, I know. I know. There's something, but some of them legitimately whatever. But yeah, you still got. Well, I'm on his insurance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever. You still got that level of attachment. So don't claim to be single and available.
Right. Or for the kids. For the kids. Because it actually does tie into this conversation. Because maybe they don't want to spend. Maybe they all still come together and do holidays together. And she likes that aspect of it. She likes the family. And so she doesn't want to break up the family. So on the holidays, she at least still wants to be with her kids.
She don't want to be apart.
She doesn't what?
She wants to be a perk.
She wants to be a perk?
Right. Apart. She wanted to be separated.
Oh. But together on the
holidays. Why did you come back together for the holidays?
Because it's for the kids. And he is a good provider. I mean, the kids get a lot of good Christmas presents and stuff from him.
From who?
From the husband. From her husband.
He got another house, right?
Maybe. Because they all say we ain't sleeping together anymore. They all claim that. Men included, especially.
But again, and you started off saying it the right way. I'm going to play Simp's advocate.
Because that's the line of reasoning that they're going for.
We can do it. We can have fun. We can do this and do that. Don't ask me about giving you claim to this and claim to that, because you got a part to do too. If we're going to be in a relationship, you have to come with your part just as much as I have to come with my part. Your part means you're available for me to have you. And again, we ain't talking about no property per se, but a relationship is talking about you're committing yourself to someone. Well, if you got commitment on paper, believe it or not, legally, that's the only one that matters.
That's true. That's very, very true. Very true. So that leads me to then the next question. Around this holiday time, let's say a guy has been divorced for, I don't know, we might still say this is his first official year being divorced. And he has another girlfriend. He has his other girlfriend. And he says, hey, kids. And they could be young or old. And especially if they're younger, because the kids have to be there. Hey, kids. My new girlfriend, Sue, is going to be joining us for the holiday. Do you think he should do that on holiday 1, or do you think he should wait, at least go through another year before? Because I mean, in some states, like in my state, they recommended you don't even introduce your kids. And of course, it's age dependent. But the general rule, I see where this is going to go. The general rule is you don't introduce your kids to someone new for a year after the divorce. So if we took that, so I guess let's take the timeline off. What would you say? Do you think he should wait? Or do you think, hey, look, this Christmas at Dad's house, and if I want to have my new girl over, hey, y'all, here's Sue.
You want me to really answer that question?
All right, so here's the deal
then. Nobody gonna tell me what I do in my house. I don't care if you talking about brother man from the court. The court can't make no suggestions. Please. they're the friend of the court, they're mine, and they shouldn't be a friend of yours. Don't let somebody interject what you should do. It's what you feel comfortable doing. If you don't want to introduce Sue to your kids, then you don't. You don't listen to nobody else about what you do, about your heart and what brings you peace. If you like this chick and you digging her, hell, she gotta meet the kids anyway. But to that point, I had one date when I got divorced. The first date was with her 3 or 4-year-old daughter at the park. But if she don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not doing things with your 4-year-old child. Well, that doesn't even make sense.
That 4-year-old is such a good judge of character at 4.
Right.
See? You didn't realize what a savant that 4-year-old was. See, that's what
apparently.
Obviously, that chick showed her level of maturity. I mean,
yeah. Needless to say that and it showed afterwards her level of maturity. But again, my point being, nobody tells you what to do. It's not a 1 year, 2 year, whatever feels comfortable for you. Because I can't tell you, you can't tell them. Nobody can tell that other individual, male or female, how they should run their household. That's your household. But when they're in my house, I'm gonna do what I want to. I'm not looking for nobody's permission. I'm not looking for an approval. I'm not looking for no comments. You keep that to yourself. That's why we got separated. That's why we got divorced. I'm moving on.
Oh, but you know, guys, comment down below if this is how it goes. It's Thanksgiving, and we're going to stick with our Sue here. So Dad invites Sue over, and kids get to meet Sue. You know what those kids gonna do when they get back with Mom to go shopping on Friday. And we met Sue, and Sue did this, and then Mom, we can't do this anymore. Mom is so
right.
I see you introduce them to Sue. We didn't talk about when we were going to introduce the kids to somebody else. Blah 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 blah. And man, it usually gets on and popping. Don't let Sue buy him something for Christmas.
Wait. And back to peace. I've already talked about this. For me, we talked about mother number 2. There was a number of years where I did not respond to mother number 2 on any of her little flaky comments she want to say, like, why you bring Sue over? Guess what? I'm gonna act like I never even got that message. My peace stays the same. It's when you interject that your peace changes. Yes. That's like when you ask somebody a question. Guess what? When they say yes or you say yes, that's the only time something changes. Otherwise, no's mean nothing changes. So no, I don't have to respond. And I didn't. Felt good. Yep. Crazy talking again. We're gonna leave that one alone.
Man, amen to that. I think this is where it's definitely a good point of that age difference. Because yeah, sometimes we do have to respond if you're dealing with little children or something like that, if something pertains to the kids. But you and I both know that text you get about they met your new girlfriend and blah blah ain't got nothing to do with the kids. So you don't even have to answer it. And that's just feeding some fire. Because you better believe when she introduced the kids to John, number one, I bet you the kids ain't even gonna tell you. Bet you they not.
Don't tell your daddy.
And kids are so intuitive enough to know, and this ties into the whole holiday thing, why generally moms win, if I can use that term. Because again, if dad is kind of like, you know what, I am sad, but I'm not going to show it. I just do what I do. We're going to watch football, whatever. But mom is going to be like, yeah, I hate being alone on the holiday. It's really sad not having anybody here. I just want to, and moms emote, tell those feelings, and little Shirley or Johnny, they hear it and they don't want mom sad. That's another reason why they'd rather be over mom's house on the holiday than over dad's house on the holiday.
Yeah.
Yes, it make them feel better. So yes, when John comes over, I like for you to I just want to introduce you to my new friend John, and the kids gonna I'm sure there's gonna be some that may have that relationship with dad. Or guess who we met? But by and large, like you said, if mom really feels that the kid's gonna go say something, look, don't tell your dad. It's none of your dad's business what goes on in my house.
or better yet, this is a work friend. There's a work friend.
Work friend.
Yeah. Your work friend spending the night, mama?
He working it all right. He
working it. Right. We have special lunch times.
Exactly. Man, that is so true. All right, we're going to close this up in a few minutes. So as we kind of talked about, we already hit on some of the tips for dudes. We touched on the visitation aspect of it. Let me ask this. In your preference, what would you say if dudes are about to be divorced and they are getting ready to go through that stage where they have to negotiate holidays? What advice would you give to them?
Put it in writing. We talked about it before. You mentioned it again. Pick even or odd days. You get evenness, you get odds with this, but be strategic, because there's special holidays. Like if you got a woman, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. If you have a daughter, 16, when she's turned 16, because that's supposed to be a special one for the kids, sweet 16, and if you're Hispanic, maybe even 15. Whatever that day is, you got to pick and choose. Are you willing to do what it takes to get that one special for that child, if you have them? So understand that those types of things should be a consideration, but be realistic. I mean, if it's 12 holidays, it's typically one a month, right? All right, every other one, flip it. Next year, flip it. Keep it going. And know that when they get at a certain age, they're going, like you said before, I don't want to spend time with them. So just think about it. But, go for it. But definitely get it in writing and flip-flop it every other week. Don't forget about the birthdays. Don't forget about Father's Day. Mother's Day. The funny thing about Mother's Day is it can be the opposite. Well, I don't want my kids on Mother's Day because I want my time to myself. Those types of things. But again, do it what works for you. You are separated. You are divorcing the woman or the other person. It's not about what works for them. So your peace is what you're gaining and trying to strive for throughout this process. Your peace, not theirs.
Yeah, amen. I would chime in and say, if it's a case where you are in the negotiation process in that stage, figure out whether you want to do every other holiday. So here it is, Thanksgiving, she has the kids, and then you have the kids on Christmas. Then New Year, she has the kids. That is probably a way for everyone to share in the experience. However, that's very confusing too, because unless you're going to be meticulous on who had them on what holiday, especially depending on how old your kids are, it's like, wait a minute, I had them last. No, you didn't. I had them last. And you might have, and then it gets overlapped because the question may be, when did you pick them up? Because, well, technically, you didn't really have them Thanksgiving, or you had them most of Thanksgiving because you picked them up at 9 a.m. And so all of that, just know that's a risk. Another thing you could do, this is kind of what I did with my oldest son, with me and his mom. It was more of a, we'll just split the day. So again, that was kind of confusing, but it never was really that much bickering because, again, I wasn't really into holidays. So it worked out well until Father's Day. And so the hardest part was for him to go over his stepdad. They went and spent Father's Day with his stepdad and not with me. I never forgot it.
Back in the face.
Ultimate. And I appreciate his stepdad. His stepdad was great, but I knew that it didn't have anything to do with him. It had something to do with my son and his mom, because there's no way in the world I would have allowed that to happen to her. But again, it was me. Nobody cared. And so think about those things. Think about how you want to do those birthdays. If you want to split the day up, it can get pretty confusing. And do know that while this is easy to deal with when the kids are, let's say, 1 to 10. It's pretty easy because what you say generally goes. But as we noted, when those kids start getting old enough to express to mama, usually, I don't want to go. I don't like going over daddy's house. Dad's always da-da-da-da. That's when it gets to be a problem. So as Derek said, have it in writing in your court documents, and also let it be something you revisit even as the kids get older, because you're creating something that's going to last. If the kids are 5, that's going to last another 13 years. You don't know where you're going to be and she's going to be. So,
but there's another piece of this as well that I forgot about. So when you're doing and negotiating the holidays, you also have to talk about what if the holidays falls on or off my visitation time. How does that impact that? My normal parenting time. Oh, it's on the weekend. Where's my weekend? So I'm supposed to get them. One, you have to put in there what supersedes. Do the weekends, scheduled weekends, supersede holidays, or do holidays supersede weekends, or previously arranged, understand my language, previously arranged parenting time?
Yes.
All right. So these things have to come in, because that becomes a massive. It's my weekend. Well, and then here's the other one. Don't forget about vacations. I wanted to take a vacation and do this and do that. Well, it's my weekend. You better figure it out. These are the things that come into play big time. Big time. Well, the kids are off this time, and he wanted to go here. Still my week. Still my holiday. Know what you will give up and know what you won't.
Man, that's so true. Because as they say, the woman that you are married to is not the woman that shows up in divorce court. And I'm sure it's the same with guys as well, but it's definitely that way with women.
Right.
So you are going to, while it may seem like, oh yeah, she may be accommodating there, that's a great point. She might not be, because depending on when it falls, good luck with that negotiation. Yeah. Good luck with that. That's a great point.
And I don't want to make this come off to say that we're bashing on women or anything like that. It's not a matter of that. It's just a reality of it. I'm talking from a male's perspective and what provides peace. I've been through it. Dev, you've been through it. I mean, I got 2 kids. I got one that was great, fantastic, best one you can think of, and one that was